Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the grand finals of the SpyParty Winter Cup. My name is Taboshi. I am joined by SpyParty legend and emperor of statistics, the Good Morning Track himself.
Oh, goodness, you're too kind. How can I live up to that?
And with Porleno as our host and observer today, we're going to find out once and for all who is the king of the Winter Cup. It is going to be OpiWrites or YerAnd.
Yeah, I mean, you'd say on one hand, OpiWrites is automatically the king of the Winter Cup because they created this tournament. This is the third annual Winter Cup. Opie was actually pretty new to the community when they created it back in 2019. It overlaps, by the way. It started in 2020 and in 2021. Has never won it, though. So that's the kind of king they really want to be today. It's one thing to run the tournament, another thing entirely to win it, which it turns out is actually much harder.
Yeah. And there's been some very stiff competition on the way here. So the fact that either of these folks have even made it this far is very impressive.
Yeah, and the format changes each step of the way, too. The group stages were quick and fun, like a little sled ride. Knockout bracket, more like trudging uphill in the snow. And the finals are kind of like cross-country skiing because this format is much more like a marathon than anything else.
Yeah, this is absolutely a very long-haul format. It's going to be first to 14 with possible overtime if we tie at 13 games.
Wow.
Basically, we start with every venue in the game available. Each player bans one. In this case, we get bans from YerAnd on Ballroom and from OpiWrites on Veranda. And then each player doubles one venue, which is in this case YerAnd doubles Aquarium, OpiWrites doubles Redwoods, and then they just sort of pick back and forth which venue to play next until they run out of venues.
Yeah, hopefully someone does hit 14, because if they don't, if they tie at 13, we go into sudden death. And I do think it's appropriate that, the Winter Cup, it is seasonal, it is a little chilly. I do detect a draft. I'm ready whenever you are.
All right, I think it's time for us to get things underway. We are starting things out on Aquarium with Opie starting things out on the Spy side, YerAnd on the Sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
This should be a really great match, and at the very least, this will definitely be the biggest, most exciting event that happens today, sports-wise.
Yes, absolutely. There's definitely no overlap with anything else. OpiWrites starting things off at Blue Bookcase with a free flirt to pick up as well for 34%. So that's a pretty quick start, especially pulling this book out.
Opie's becoming known for this, the super aggressive flirt early in the game. The ambassador comes up right next to him as well.
This is just a free book. Nobody's got the book.
He's got the book. This is where your hardtail aspirations conflict with one another.
Here's the thing. He could have just completely cheesed that, and because of Midshark there, he would have been invisible.
I totally agree, and I'm a little surprised he didn't, but I think maybe he had a game planned in mind. And yeah, I'm not surprised to see that super aggressive early flirt. Opie is doing this until someone catches him on it, which has pretty much not happened so far. Just really aggressive early flirting during the time of chaos. That'll work.
Banana bread.
There's the contact coming off. That's 3, that's 4 lowlights, which is not bad, all things considered.
This is scene.
My. Yeah.
That was not up to Opie's usual standards. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I was very surprised to see that. The path certainly didn't help.
Yeah, we skewed the safe, completely covered bug that we maybe were credited with anyway, and we took the much more aggressive one, the old, let's just say, Temple of Doom style bug, where your hand comes through the chest completely. Not sure if that's what we were going for. And yeah, that's not going to work. 2 hardtails at once, as it turns out. You either win the game right there or you lose, and I'm not surprised that we lost.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, if you're going to play for a bug like that, it makes you wonder why you didn't either wait a little longer for the shark to roll on through or do it behind the shark in the first place. But yeah, we can't start the next game yet because the next game is still happening.
We've caught up already because that game was so quick. While we're waiting for the second game, remember that word second. I want to run some results by you real quick. Let me read these for you. Winter Cup 2019, Opie finishes 4th. Winter Cup 20, Opie finishes 3rd. SCL 5, 2nd in gold. SCL 6, XCL 6, 4th in platinum. Summer Cup 2019, 2nd. Summer Cup 20, 2nd. Now,
Oh
there's
my
two ways to
God.
read this, right? One is that, wow, that's a lot of near-end finishes in a lot of major tournaments. So clearly a very good player. But what you were probably really noticing there was a lack of first-place finishes. Only PAX Invitational, a relatively new event, stands as Opie's win in any major event so far. Really trying to change that here.
All right, let's see if you can get it going from the sniper side of things in 3, 2, 1, playing it. YerAnd is going to have a very similar opening, super aggressive flirting, steps away immediately for the contact conversation, and it's actually not a terrible time for it. Did I miss something here? Guys? Okay, I think warning track's muted, and I have concerns.
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
I'm at about 315. Got it. Got it. I'm there. All right, so we've got 51% on the flirt. The ambassador walks right by us, and YerAnd thinks better of it because it is Top Shark. So,
Yeah, it's been it was a really, really fast start. It was a little bit slow after that. Well, we tried to get the seduce finished up and unfortunately didn't quite get it.
Yeah, this is what you're going to see from YerAnd. You're going to see really steady progress, a little bit of idling in the beginning, but not so much that they're forced into time pressure late in the game. YerAnd usually makes steady progress, almost never rushes, and almost never times out.
Yeah, YerAnd is a very solid, consistent player. There's the next flirt coming off with the second target cooperating this time, so we're at 85 seconds at this point.
It's interesting to see YerAnd maybe do those little weird paths and maybe even fish for a low light. Opie is just straight up not going to hand those out. That's just not the way he plays right now.
Here's a briefcase pickup.
Yeah, look at that head. That head is visible. Tried to cheese the briefcase behind the shark, and I think Opie saw that.
It's hard to say. Well, in conversation with the double agent now, we'll see what happens with this moving forward. But Opie very well may know that YerAnd has a print.
Well, I like the choice, if not always the execution. It may or may not have worked, but the choice for someone to get like Opie, who is heavy on mission counts, will hold if you have just the one print. If you get one print by him, you can be top suspect when that mission wins countdown screen is up.
There's the contact for... Well, there are more lowlights available, but it looks like he only got 2 of them.
Yeah, very cautious. You can see Opie prioritizing from the sniper side, guarding that bug instead of trying to get those lowlights.
Went a little bit wide around the outside to try to make it look like he wasn't bugging, when in fact he was not bugging. Into the statues at the back we go for the flirt getting finished up, and hopefully both of the inspects here. Yeah, we should be fine.
Doesn't matter too much, of course, because, you know, it really doesn't limit your options on finishing it later. But yes, getting both of those done in one go, you can now potentially finish fingerprints. And if you're only credited with one, you're in a really good position against a sniper like Opie.
Surprisingly, only took the one inspect after all, and into the green bookcase we go. 45 seconds to play.
Big moment of truth here.
Second print. Not much reaction from OpiWrites, so this might be clean.
Oh, are we suspected of a bug there that we didn't take? No, but should be bookside. Hopefully Opie has the presence of mind to notice that.
This is a scary situation. 23 seconds left. I think we've got to just dump this book in blue.
I don't think it's going to work, though. I think Bug would actually be safer. Obviously, we don't have time to finish inspects because we still have this book. We're going to try to do it behind Shark, are we?
Shark
No.
is not helping. He's going to the front. I think it's going to be a time ad. 8 seconds.
He's going to try to do it if the Shark comes back. This is it. Opie has to shoot now or it's going to be a dance. He's behind the Shark.
Opie takes completely the wrong shot, and YerAnd takes a big start in this set, 2-0.
For those who don't know, in Platinum, in SCL6, OpiWrites was the victim of eventual champion Lazy Bear, trying out a bunch of new shark tech, finishing missions behind the shark, and hiding behind it the entire time. A little bit of PTSD, we like to joke every time he comes on Aquarium. Well, guess what? That seems to be the case here. People love to trot it out against Opie. It's happened more than once. Death Tacticus did it a little bit in the Summer Cup 20 finals. And now, look at this. YerAnd does the same kind of thing in the Winter Cup finals, and he's up 2-0.
That's a flying start from YerAnd. This is going to be an exciting set of games. This is YerAnd's double, to be fair, but it's certainly starting the way he had hoped. Let's see if OpiWrites can start pulling it back from the Spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And I think we can tell from that shot, from the fact that we weren't being watched there at the end, that those fingerprints were pretty clean.
This is a fast visit to the bar. Very early delegate. Unfortunately, nobody filtered in after, so very unlikely to have any use of this delegate.
Opie has been telling anyone who will listen in the community playing YerAnd, myself included, that we should rush YerAnd more, and that early bar visit makes me wonder if this is the game for it to start happening.
But I don't know, like the rest of the party is just not playing nice with this bar rush. First flirt for 19%, that also doesn't help.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You can rush, you can force rushes too, but ideally you want a little bit of help from the party, or at least you don't want the party actively fighting you. And right now, this party feels like it doesn't want to be rushed on.
And that's okay. That's okay. You need to be flexible as a spy. OpiWrites very much reading the room and not going too fast here. This is a red fake?
Oh boy, the cough was on screen. The fin covered it just a little bit. I don't think the actual cough was seen, but we do see YerAnd doing the safe, smart thing and taking some lowlights out of it. Instead, we did delegate as well, but the timer was expired before we even approached the bar, so tried to thread that needle way too close.
4 lowlights come out of it. That's a bit of a high price for a fake. 48% is now the flirt percentage, which hurts me at least a little bit.
At least a little bit, and probably hurts Opie a lot too. Look at this setup right now. Look at the mission progress, look at the clock, look at the venue. This is already a very atypical Opie game.
Yeah, this is weird. This is weird, and it's kind of scary because there's just not a lot of progress right now. There's the contact coming off.
That's a good one, though.
That's a really good contact. 2 more lowlights. So we've gotten 6 from contacts so far. There's the flirt up to 77%, and I think now it's time for Opie to get out of there and get some other mission progress, get a little bit closer for this next flirt.
Look, you can't rush the rushes. You gotta wait. You gotta be patient before you rush. Pick the right game.
Minute and 40 seconds on the clock. We've got the 1 mission completion and a fair bit of progress on the next. That is just a pretty bug. Completely hidden behind the shark. No weirdness in the pathing into the bar we go. It's looking good.
And it wouldn't have mattered if there was. That was the kind of bug we're used to seeing from Opie, not the one we saw in the first game.
Yeah, that was very, very pretty.
Or it would have been if you could see it.
Exactly. Picking up yet another delegate. Minute and 5 on the clock. 2 missions to get, but 1 flirt is going to finish up one of those. We have the bug. The statues are all available. The bookcases are available for missions. It looks like we're going for the flirt first. So that's 3 missions down, 1 to go. It's the delegate, but it's immediately the shot right after. And YerAnd is flying on Aquarium.
No, he is, but he did snipe first. We talk about this a lot. You can have like a 3-game lead like this, and all it really means is you broke service spy once. The fact that you have a spy game yourself coming up, albeit on Aquarium, means this a 3-0 is very often just a 3-1 when the other player hasn't sniped yet, right? So it can be a little misleading, but YerAnd is just a really solid player. We talked about this in the semifinals during one of our previous casts, that when YerAnd gets a lead, he can just sort of grind you down because he doesn't give many games away. This is a longer set than most, so it might be a little tougher, but this is a really excellent start from YerAnd. However, let me remind you that in the Summer Cup 20 finals, with Death Tacticus, they did win, but they were up 5-0, and Opie went 7-5 the rest of the way. So Opie is perfectly capable of overcoming an early deficit, especially if it doesn't get any bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see if YerAnd can push it to a sweep on the first double venue, or if Opie's going to come out swinging from the sniper side in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Standard early flirt business. A little bit of a weird entry, unfortunately, gets us not as close as we'd like to be. So it's 45% on the first flirt.
YerAnd's mission spread on Aquarium is really interesting in a lot of ways. Their least completed missions, Inspect and Fingerprint. And they did complete Fingerprint last time. They basically completed 1 out of every 20 Aquarium spy games, which is maybe one of the reasons it was so effective in the opener.
Yeah, absolutely could be. Looks like YerAnd's really just hanging out here, milking for the timer flirt, which, like, on a 45% opener, fair enough. You're not on a huge distance, but you're more than close enough to get value out of a second flirt from this spot. There's the cooldown, there's the flirt, 90% off of 2 greens. Now we can get the last one from anywhere we want, and it's going to be enough.
Yeah, it's a decent, solid start from YerAnd, but unspectacular. This is how YerAnd plays spy almost always.
There's the contact coming off. There's been some really awkward pathing coming out of here in this game so far. But into the blue bookcase we go.
Oh, look at that. Look at the laser flick over to low light buns there. I wonder if YerAnd is going to read that as a low light for them for that split, mistakenly.
It's possible. I don't think it is clear enough for YerAnd to really believe they're low lit at this point.
And look at this. This, you know, I got to be honest. I think if you're staring straight across at your seduction target, making eye contact, you should actually get more on the flirt for that, don't you think? Doesn't that make more sense? Anyway, it doesn't matter. They only need 10% and it's done.
Absolutely. Worst you can possibly get is 17, and that is more than enough to finish up the flirt. So that's 2 missions in the books, 2 minutes left to play, and into the statues we go for a difficult print that we're not able to hit, but more importantly, perhaps, a pair of inspects.
Yeah, is this setting up an inspect swap finish with the shark again? There's about 100 seconds left on the clock. This would be a really powerful time to try to finish early if they went immediately to another statue.
You absolutely could. Especially if you head to that back right side, and it looks like that might be where they're heading. Gonna hang out in the back here.
We might be waiting for the shark to line up here, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Just waiting for the shark to creep back up. Maybe visiting a few pads just to waste a little bit of time. Yeah, this is absolutely what's happening here.
Yep.
It's gonna be a long time coming, though. And once again, Opie takes a missed shot, this time on Salmon.
Well, about a minute earlier, Salmon was at the opposite bookshelf, and I believe had some shark cover too. So I think we're just a little paranoid of the microfilm. YerAnd actually one of the few top players who will regularly do microfilm, far more than most top players, most top spies. So that's something that Opie definitely on the lookout there for, made him a little jumpy, and it is Aquarium after all, and boy, oh boy, did that doubled venue work out for YerAnd.
Yeah, absolutely. But now it's Opie's turn in the driver's seat as they get their venue pick for 4 games in a row. Let's see if they can run back the score to a tie game, starting from the spy side of Redwoods. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Opie has been getting really good at Redwoods over time. Over the last year or so, just playing it much more, playing it a lot competitively. I think they've really become a force to be reckoned with. And if they can take just 3 out of 4 here, they're right back in
bug range. We're in bug range! The bug has come off from across the conversation! What is that?
And had some tree cover anyway. I think that's just free, and this is how Opie likes to play. The question is, are they going to put that rush on? Are they going to do a second hardtail, or are they going to do the safe softtail finish? That is the big question, because Opie could potentially justify either of those things.
There are so many paths to victory right now. You know what? Don't play too aggressive, Opie. This is one of the ways you get caught. But 51% on the flirt and immediately getting away, that is
We're going to try to do it right here. We're going to try to finish the deuce right away. Here we go. Nope.
Oh, no, that's such a shame. We do get in conversation with the double agent, though, so there's at least we're not taking the value there.
And we talked about it, the party just not wanting to be rushed, and this is looking like it. The ambassador gives us an early opportunity on the bug that we take, but after that, the seduction target and the double agent alike want nothing to do with us. Darn those arrowheads.
Here's the flirt getting finished up. A green test for 2 at the bar.
Oh, contact delegate. That's what we're doing, man.
Yeah, that's the play
so
for
early
sure.
in the game. So early in the game. Here it comes.
I don't think there's any way YerAnd can get himself to take a shot for this.
I mean,
you've
it's just
missed
so
the
early.
bug.
Yeah, he either nails it completely and takes such a quick shot, or he just whittles the party down, figures he can wait for one more thing.
And 90% of the time, it's the latter.
And you can use the contact app cover for the delegate anyway. YerAnd is completely on top of this, or Opie wins his first game of the match.
There's the delegate. Here's the contact. Mission win is pending. It looks like he's looking at the bar. No, he's just getting low lights.
He's either going to pounce on this, or Opie's got a great win and a rush, the kind of rush he's been talking about doing. There's the going. Do we have any reaction? You can infer it from the body language of the bartender, but no, YerAnd is not expecting it. There's that rush we were talking about, and it gets Opie on the board.
All right. Well, YerAnd went 4-0 on his double pick. Opie is making a statement starting the other side.
Yeah, that's a really big one right there. And if he snipes now, things get really interesting. It's still super early. And right now, you got to believe, by the way, starting 0-4, Opie suddenly very happy that this set is so long. But he might not need that long on Redwoods to get back into it. This is the start.
We shall see what he's like on the sniper side versus YerAnd's spy on Redwoods in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And Opie has definitely gotten good at Redwoods on both sides, but you're going to see a lot of zooming on that ambassador. You're going to see a big emphasis on protecting that ambassador.
Absolutely. And we do start right next to them. They step away before we're able to make anything of it with that drink in hand, but the double agent is still in play in this conversation.
Kind of interesting there, too. Opie was actually zoomed to protect the Amba, and YerAnd broke the animation just a little bit for that sip. Normally, you'd say, who cares, Redwoods, right? Especially with Opie staring at other things. But in this case, the thing he was staring at was right next to us, so he actually had a chance to catch a tiny etiquette break on Redwoods, of all places, but I don't think it was seen.
51% on the first flirt is a nice pickup as well. He's not going to hang around to try timer things. He's just back in with the double agent at this point. But people are starting to move a bit. It's looking less and less like the contact is the play here.
Yeah, YerAnd, by the way, has played very little Redwoods competitively, particularly compared to Opie. So there might be a bit of a lack of comfort here, and that might lead them to slow play a little more than normally would, maybe a little more likely to time out than normally. And we've seen Opie hold shots on Redwood. Some players basically can't do that on the occlusion venues. They almost always shoot their top suspect, but Opie's capable of it, and that might be important in this game with such little mission progress.
Absolutely. 2 minutes left to play, and all we have is that one flirt. 2 now as he picks up a white test up to 85%. Still not a single mission completion, and YerAnd has basically done nothing to accrue himself even a little bit of suspicion.
And maybe that's by design, because from his perspective, 2 Civ shots on Aquarium. Granted, a different venue entirely, but those weren't games where he got stuff by Opie exactly. Opie was just not looking at him, had his suspects, and shot people who he thought were completing missions instead. So maybe YerAnd saying 2 Civ shots in 2 games, I dare you to hold.
Yeah, lean into it a little bit, start picking up a bit of progress here and there to give himself an out if he needs it, but with under a minute and a half to play, there might not even be enough mission progress to give himself an out.
Yeah, normally YerAnd might want to just get to mission win countdown slow and steady, but with the way this match has started, I wouldn't blame him for mixing it up and saying, okay, I'll risk a timeout so that you can prove to me you can hold a shot first.
I'm surprised he didn't go for that reverse drive-by.
Banana bread.
That looked so juicy. There's the contact coming off.
Oh, look at these lowlights. At least
3,
4 available.
4,
5?
5.
That's a really good response from Opie. He really had a great snapshot of the party there. He had a lot of people in view between the trees and got a lot of good, solid lowlights.
That is hard to do on this venue.
Oh boy, if we don't delegate to exactly the right person or maybe get a little lucky, I think he's got us. We've got bar highlights coming out, very little mission progress, and the party's whittled down. Opie's in very good shape here.
I think he's going to be paying a lot of attention to this ambassador on the way out. Ambassador's moving. I think it's safe. All right. And now YerAnd goes for the briefcase. So there's one print, but you're not finishing prints. There's 20 seconds left.
Green dress is the only other highlight here and probably the only other suspect.
Down goes the briefcase. 10 seconds to play. In with the double agent. 5 seconds to play. Stepping out of conversation. There's the time ad.
Yep, because the purloin won't even get us to the pending. And
no, he was too early on it. He actually heard the slowdown on the last beep.
Oh boy. Another watch check. Look at this.
That
We're
was
just
the
going
white
nuts.
test. There's the
He's
shot.
got it.
Yep. Nothing left to play for. Opie brings it back 2 in a row.
Wow. I mean, we saw that game coming a little bit. We saw little hints that maybe this was going to be a rush late. The question is, was this a calculated thing from YerAnd saying 2 civ shots, I'm going to make you hold? Or did this get away from them because they're not used to Redwoods? Could be a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, I don't know. But you can really see that patience from Opie paying off for them big time there. Whittled the party down. Underrated, though, getting all 5 of those lowlights off the contact. That made that end game so much more manageable.
Yeah, that was big. And I honestly think that, like, hearing the extra slower tick down on that last beep could have been really big because he started getting lowlights as soon as that happened. We're back into it with Opie on the spy side once again. YerAnd on the sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Speaking of could be big, if Opie wins this, they'll be sniping for the tie.
Spawning with a drink in hand, getting rid of it fairly quickly. There was a moment where I was a little bit worried we were going to get an instant right click on the bug attempt, but managed to hold himself back. It's actually an early green time ad at the fireplace.
I like it. Opie, in his spy games on Redwoods, does add time about a third of the time. Not bad. And I think doing it early, green test obviously helps. And yeah, look, you can't bug before the drink. You need the drink to get your guts up. That's liquid courage, man.
So, stepping into conversation with the double agent, actually the seduction target enters after, and we're able to get a free 43% flirt from it. So that's a pretty nice pickup, and we still have, well, until I said that, had the double agent available, but now the seduction target's stepping away as well. So what just happened?
Yeah, bouncing around, but it's going to have to be at least a 3 flirt, unfortunately, but you'll take it since you didn't have to go to them. On the other hand, you're not really worried about being flirt paired either, so kind of a mixed bag, but we've got those extra 45 seconds to play with, although we've gambled away about half of them.
That's fine. Oh, it's another time ad.
Oh boy. This is stretching YerAnd out. This is the opposite of a rush.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's gotten in to YerAnd's head that things can go very fast on this venue with that last spy game. And now he's completely flipping the script and making YerAnd prove he can hold a very long game. There's a contact coming off and a second flirt to bring us up to 86%. So any flirt will finish that up.
I think you've read Opie's mind just right, which is rush game on the first one on spy and then slow play and draw out the second one. It works much better than the opposite. When you establish the mission progress early and then slow play into a potential civ shot, works way better than vice versa.
And this is definitely slow play. There's still 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock.
We're actually still ahead of the curve, despite like 2 straight minutes of idling.
Yeah, I know. It's incredible. And we're sitting here counting down a timer flirt to finish up the seduce as well. Never mind.
So many ways to finish here once we finish this flirt. Our seduction target, they're going to go to statues if they are. Because of these single statues, when they go to one of these front single statues, you can't flirt with them, really, unless you want to hit the pad itself. You can't do anything about it. But instead, they are going to settle at windows and bounce around, and hey, are they going to come back to us one more time?
No, it's briefcase, it looks like.
Well, they're going to get statues, and the general's going to take the briefcase instead.
Minute and 50 on the clock at this point. I wonder what Opie's plan for the last couple of missions are. It doesn't look like he's lining up a print. It doesn't look like he's lining up statues.
I mean, you know he wants that bug, but look at the ambassador, just not in a good position for it.
Oh, second target does eventually decide to be kind. There's the second mission completion with 1:30 left to play. But again, what are the last two missions?
Well, they could be almost
It's
anything.
gonna be another time.
I think you're probably right.
This one's white, though.
Oh, another highlight was at Windows, though, Queen. And there's a low light coming out from General at Bar. I don't think that's behavioral. I think that we might have detected the time ad, which means it's us or Queen, probably. And there's a highlight.
May well be. Here's a print on the green book, so that's not nothing. This is a scary game.
Yeah, it really is. Print and inspect, and I really feel, look at this. 3 highlights. Everyone else is low lit. That last time ad, that's the one that got caught, I think. But the Queen was at the front-facing window just around the same time, so I'm not really clear on which is a bigger suspect.
Queen's at the bar. We might be able to frame her for a purloin.
Oh, he's got to shoot here, I think.
Yeah, he takes the shot. The statues are too big of a risk. And YerAnd catches a third time ad. And that's enough.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. That's a rough one. I like the decision. It's the same thing with YerAnd before, where I like the choice if maybe the execution doesn't work. But sometimes you give them your best shot. Sometimes it's a good idea that will normally work or work fairly often, and it just doesn't work that time, right? The sniper just plays really well and counteracts it. That's what happened with Opie's previous sniper game, and that's what happens with YerAnd as well here.
Yep. Well, I think this tells Opie that YerAnd is just going to sit tight and play his own game, which lets Opie take a lot more rushes.
That might be what happens here. Yeah, we'll see. But boy, Opie could really, really use this game to get right back in it.
Well, let's see if he can pick it up from the sniper side of Redwoods in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
It's Teal again.
Did a really good job the sniper side last time, so Opie is comfortable here for sure.
Yep, that's pretty much what it is. And it's entirely possible that that's what we're actually seeing, that YerAnd is holding the shot because they're less comfortable. You know, some people get jumpy when they're not comfortable, some people the exact opposite.
Very early flirt, very early contact. 51% on the flirt, and 3 lowlights on the contact. So that is a flying start.
I guess YerAnd heard rush YerAnd and added a comma and says, I'm going to do it myself.
And it looks like we might just hang out here to pick up a timer flirt, see if we can get it done in 2.
This is still consistent with a rush, though, when you can 2-flirt during the timer. I still think of that as a rush when you can 2-flirt with 2 greens real quick. If this is a white, though, I don't think we're hanging out here.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, never mind. Section target steps away, and we give chase immediately after. Into the statues we go to pick up this second flirt. It is green, too, so that's going to be it in 2.
And the fact that it forced us to go to statues like that, that might influence how we finish and how quickly we finish.
It's a swap! It's a white swap!
Uh-oh, this is about to be seen right here.
Yep. There it is, right on camera. Right on camera.
And we're going right to statues again. If we saw the swap, we win right now, and if we didn't, YerAnd takes it.
It's a highlight.
Oh, no, it's a highlight. That's bad news. Few more seconds. If you're going to shoot, you only have a few more seconds.
Oh my god, I don't think he's gonna take it. I think YerAnd found a way through.
I don't think that swap was
no
seen.
Shot.
Wow. YerAnd rushes right back, and it's 6-2.
Oh my god. The plays from YerAnd right now.
The 2-flirt. The 2-flirt is what made it possible, almost definitely. I'm not sure that that swap was seen. I don't think we would have gotten a standard highlight for that. I think that was just a complete inspect highlight.
Yeah.
It doesn't help very much that it was switched from a 2 to a 3. You know, if you had to pick the statues that look the most similar at a glance on a hard venue like this, I guess that's the one I'm least likely to notice too. But still, really, it's just about whether or not you're prioritizing the mission or not. And I think we just were not expecting it at that point.
Yeah, I agree. Either way, it's 6-2 in YerAnd's favor. And we're done with the doubled venues. So Gallery is our next stop, which is YerAnd's pick, because they do pick back and forth after the first 2 venues. But either way, it's still Opie on the Spy first. And this is a hard place to rush in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
No, it certainly is. You need to play just a solid, well-paced spy game here. Opie is certainly capable of that, but this does not cater to their instincts, as you alluded to.
Early flirt, get the bug. Big start coming out of OpiWrites.
I mean, there's a clear lean going on there, but it is obscured, certainly. So, I just can't tell. I can't tell, because the problem is when the sniper is almost positive of something like an early bug, and oh no, the ambassador comes right back. We don't want that at all, by the way.
We have the drink.
We do have the drink, and you hope the sniper notices at that point. You want them to notice just so much and no more. The problem is when you get an early bug like that and the sniper's pretty sure, they're still going to hold. They're not going to bother with lowlights because you're already suspect numero uno. So not catching the bug and being almost certain of it look about the same from our perspective. But I incline towards Opie getting away with that.
Yeah, I think so. It's scary, but I think Opie got away with it, drink in hand. When the ambassador stepped away the second time, Opie was mid-sip. So that made it very clear, look how not bugging this is.
Yeah, and this might be a little different than the previous games. YerAnd has played 17 competitive gallery games that I have, at least, and has shot in all of them.
Print on the green book. Bookcase prints are not necessarily the easiest to catch sometimes.
No, they're not, and it looks like the question is Opie using this to go silent or to go statueless? I'm going to say statueless. That's how they normally do things.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, that's the point of getting the fingerprint and the bug, right? Which mission are you not going to do now that you have both of those?
And the
Skip contact? Nope,
well,
we
there
don't.
goes silent. Contact comes off before, I think five lowlights.
And you got to prioritize flirt immediately now.
Into the statues we go.
Uh-oh.
We don't have a single flirt yet. This is scary.
This is I wonder if this is giving up on the flirt already, or if it's just about that fingerprint, and you hope by never going back to statues you don't get credited with inspects.
It's just a shot. YerAnd sees the second print, and that's enough. He's just crediting the...
Could be the prints, could be the bug, right? They both fit.
Yeah, that's true. Could be the
Because
print,
in both cases, if you're waiting for a plausible finish, that's it. That's it for whether or not you're giving them a bug, and that's it whether or not you're putting them on the prints. Either way. So unfortunately, as casters, both interpretations make just as much sense to me based on that.
Yeah. Man, YerAnd is looking nigh unstoppable right now as he steps into the spy side of gallery. Opie has to find some magic to pull himself back into this, but Opie's very capable of finding that magic. Let's see if he can start it off from the sniper side in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, this is really rough. Opie playing from far behind now, looking at potentially yet another second place finish. It's really impressive to even get this far, believe you me, but at a certain point it starts to feel conspicuous with all the second place finishes.
Early 51% flirt at the painting on the side and immediately into statues. So a very unorthodox start coming out of YerAnd, but Opie's not just highlighting for statues like most people do.
Yeah, the two missions YerAnd does least often on gallery, microfilm, no surprise there, and inspect.
There's the second flirt, but not able to hit the green, so it's 85%, but that's a lot of progress very early on, so it's looking pretty good on that front.
By the way, when YerAnd goes for prints on this venue, it's briefcase about half the time. Almost, and it never drinks, not to date.
Outside we go. Pick up an innocent watch check. So a little bit of slow play coming out of YerAnd, just to try to fish for maybe a low light. And back into conversation to finish up this flirt, and maybe... Oh, this is a very full conversation. This is a great time for the contact. There's the flirt getting finished, so one mission in the books.
Surprised that happened first, but it has.
Yep, and a lot of people just stepped away.
Yeah, that's why you don't do it then.
Banana bread.
Takes the contact anyways, but the outside conversation was also very big. There's the green purloin. All right, here's the test.
Green purloin walk away, and Opie was zoomed in outside, deciding which people to light, deciding whether or not to assume real.
Here's the take. You gotta look at the fade. He saw the fade.
He saw the
knows
fade.
it's not Pearl.
But does he know who rejected? He's ruled out. Pearls.
Here he is.
Insects are done. You gotta shoot right now.
He's
Oh,
taking
no.
a shot. He's not taking it, and YerAnd gets another one past.
And it's for the same kind of reason. Look at this. 90 seconds left, and the flirt is done. YerAnd is getting these flirts done very quickly, even without the double greens, I think, in this case. That is such a huge, huge difference, and the purloin could not be timed better. Opie was reacting in the wake of the contact. He was zoomed in out front when the reject and walkaway took place, and I think he just wasn't really sure. That was where the game was really won, though. Finishing the flirt early and timing the purloin just right.
Yeah, that was... What a spy game. Opie has a mountain to climb at this point. It is 8-2. YerAnd only needs 4 more games to close this out. Starting from the sniper side of Modern in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Mountain is right, and this one's uphill in the snow both ways, if you ask me. This is a huge deficit.
And if YerAnd can start finding games here, now it also becomes icy.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, suddenly you need spy wins, and you can't afford to give up sniper games. There's just no more margin left. It is a longer set. Your back's not totally against the wall, but against a competent player like YerAnd, if they don't fall apart for you, you're going to have to fight and scrap for every single game, which means you can't just try something aggressive as spy and just kind of hope it works out because your sniper's been totally on point. You've given up too many of those other games already.
51% on the first flirt. And
in the red.
outside we go for the contact. It's a pretty quick contact too, and it is a banana split.
Yep, and we're going to dump blue right into green.
Into the green bookcase, the blue book goes. So this is going to be transfer microfilm done as well, with 4 lowlights on the contact. If this is clean, this is looking really good.
Yeah, it is. It is 4 missions, though, and there's no reason to shoot yet until the book actually goes back in, too. Remember, these are really good snipers. They can be almost sure, but until the mission is completed, they'll give themselves 5 or 6 extra seconds just to see if someone else does something else.
I think that was clean. I think this is just a huge start from OpiWrites. We got the contact. We got a microfilm done very quickly.
Yeah.
Still 2.5 minutes left to play. This is looking good.
I'd feel much different about this if contact wasn't already done. The fact that contact's already done... Oh, I think we're obligated to take this briefcase, aren't we?
Well, he takes the flirt instead to 84%.
And that's unfortunate.
The briefcase in our place.
Yeah, because if that's green, we know what happens here.
Yeah.
Probably just a quick purloin delegate, just like we did on Redwoods. Basically the same kind of game plan. I think that's what would have happened, but the fact that we get this white, it gives YerAnd time to catch their breath, rule things out a little bit, think things through. This could be rough. We need this.
Opie not taking any risks, just gonna hang out, wait for the timer flirt, and try to formulate a plan for this final mission.
Yeah, we've got a lot of options here, and that's kind of what they're thinking. Will this line up? And look at that. The second we're done flirting, we are out of there.
Yeah. It's an etiquette break if you see it, but it's not always easy to get a look at that flirt and go.
Oh,
Into the
swap?
statues we go.
It is
a
swap?
swap.
It's a white test. That is technically visible, but YerAnd does not seem interested in it. There's 4 seconds left. We're going to white swap in the sniper's face. Last chance, no!
It's too late. It's too late. You weren't paying enough attention. You thought it. Here's the thing. If you are not super suspicious of someone and you highlight them for almost anything,
you forget about them.
You kind of forget about them for a bit because you get that highlight and you're like, I have done the thing I need to do with that person. Let's go look at other things.
Oh, my heart was in my throat because with about 2 seconds left, that laser snapped over. And I thought, oh my goodness, is he going to notice this just in time? I think he did notice it in time, but he wasn't willing to snap shot when he noticed. He needed a second or two to process what was happening. Was someone there? I'm not sure because this is so surprising. You jump on those swaps when you're looking for them. When you're not looking for them, you want a few more seconds, and a few seconds is all Opie needed at that point.
All right. That's 3. Still some work to do, but on the sniper side of Modern, that's looking a lot more doable. Let's see if Opie can pull it back to 4 in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And it's Salmon again. YerAnd has played duplicate spies quite a bit. We saw a couple teals in a row. We've seen a couple salmons now in the last 3 or 4 games. I don't know if it's random or not. Who knows? A lot of people pick Salmon because he's kind of in the middle, not very inherently suspicious. By the way, there's that aggressive flirt and walk away that Opie has practically patented at this point and wasn't noticed because guess what? He was protecting the ambassador.
Yeah, Time of Chaos is a very powerful thing for etiquette breaks. And that was a free one because the selection target came to us there. A little out and back again, and a green test on the return gives us 85% on the flirt.
Wow, flirt's almost done 30 seconds into the game. Great start.
Yeah, this is fast. This is very fast.
And we talked about it before. Those quick flirts are what have made several of these spy wins, mostly for YerAnd, but one for Opie too, have made those wins possible.
Out we go. Ooh, a little bit of a redirect, and this is going to be the flirt gun. That's a nice redirect. I like that.
Yeah, pretty solid. But again, that's the kind of thing YerAnd would reward more than Opie. Unfortunately, YerAnd is the spy, not the sniper. So I don't think Opie's going to care about it. They're just going to stare at that ambassador instead.
So that is 1 mission down. 3 minutes to play. And it's a long one that just got finished as well.
Yeah, that helps a lot. It's not gallery, right? You're not as worried about completing Seduce on this venue as you were on the previous one, maybe. But it's still really nice to have done with this much time on the clock. Now you can really pick your spots.
In with the double agent.
Banana bread.
There's the contact.
Pretty good. Not bad.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lowlights is a good reaction from Opie.
Yeah, this is one of those things where one of the reasons the contact seems okay is because you don't think the sniper is going to react perfectly, but when they do, it turns it from an okay banana bread into a slightly below average one. Opie has really been on those contact lowlights this match. It's surprising they've given up as many sniper games as they have, given how well they've reacted to those.
Here's a delegate. Who's the frame target?
Yeah,
well,
I don't know.
Blue bookcase first, so we'll see what we do with this.
Well, the question is this just to put a little time between us, the bar, the delegate, all that? Or do we want to walk away with this too for the same kind of idea? It looks like it's the latter.
Out comes the blue book. 1:45 left to play, and we go to a lonely conversation with
We
it.
really want someone to join here so we can delegate from across the way, I think. Because we have to go and do another conversation now and do it immediately if it's going to take.
Well, into another conversation we go.
A lot of cover in this one too. This is an easy to miss delegate. Yep.
There's the delegate. I don't know what the ambassador just did, but...
Oh, big moment coming up. And we're going to be right back at blue when it happens. Here comes Red Dress with the take, and Opie does seem interested in it.
There it is. There's the fade. Doesn't know. Didn't get a good look at the fade, so at least there's that. Doesn't seem to have a good recollection of who was at the bar then either.
No, but has taken several lowlights, has not low-lit the spy yet, and has lit the taker, and then low-lights the taker, and then the spy too! Oh no, we've misremembered!
This is a win for YerAnd. It's all falling apart.
But he still needs to finish here. Does he know he's low-lit? Is he expecting that, or is he waiting for a sip shot to come off because contact's already done? Is he gonna actually try to bug here or something? Did he feel that low light? Did he feel that low light? That is the question right now.
I think with the laser where it is, I think he's felt a highlight.
Maybe, but he's got this blue book now. Isn't the plan to dump?
He steps away with it. It looks like it is the plan to dump.
I think he either suspects it or he just thinks this is what he wants to do even as a highlight. It's hard to say which, but either way, he's going to win this game almost definitely.
Into green we go. Is there any way Opie can find a way through here? I don't think there is.
Oh,
I think YerAnd just got it done. There's no reaction from Opie. countdown happens.
Oh.
The shot comes off just in the nick of time, but it's not the right shot anyways, and YerAnd goes up 9-3.
We saw bar highlights earlier on Redwoods, and that worked beautifully. This time, no bar highlights, and I think it cost him dearly. There was an initial wave of highlights and lowlights in response to the purloin. You could tell it. We wasn't totally on it because they weren't very confident. They were a little mixed. But then you could see Opie decide, I didn't get enough from that purloin, right? That wasn't good enough. So I need to take riskier chances now. I needed to go through a second wave of lowlights and to try to narrow this down from memory. And that's what they did. Unfortunately, they just misremembered who was at bar. And you got to think now, that trip to blue shelves and then idling in a conversation, that's what ultimately did it. That's what convinced him it wasn't this person. That is a really, really big deal. And you'll see that sometimes. If someone does a bad contact and gives you 5 or 6 lowlights, you just take the hard ones, right? But if they give you a great one with maybe 1 lowlight, then you think that's not enough. I need to take a chance. I'll assume real in order to get the number of lowlights I need to get from this. That's how that felt to me. They didn't get enough from the purloin, so they had to take a second wave of lowlights, a chancey one, and it burned them.
Yeah, I agree. Man, YerAnd is playing out of his mind today, and OpiWrites so far hasn't been able to keep up, but it's not over until it's over. OpiWrites on the spy side of pub, it's 3 of 5. There's a big chance here if he can walk away with the spy game in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Opie starting with a drink is always my favorite one-sentence sad summary of the game.
Yes.
He hates it.
Well, he's gotten the drink out of hand. He's gotten 51% on the flirt. So at least he still made good use of the time.
Yeah. Saddest story in 5 words. Opie starts with a drink. Eat your heart out, Hemingway, or whoever it was.
And it's a very quick statue visit, which is interesting. That's a lot of suspicion to give yourself early on.
Yeah, you can rush on the Softail venues, and we've seen Opie do this in some other events too. I think we saw it in Summer Cup as well. And oh, that's a bug attempt, and we sat up, I think, really, really straight there in the middle of the idol.
That
no.
scared me a lot.
No, we didn't actually. I think we just waited. That's weird. We did an idle reset, and it looked exactly like a bug attempt, reverse drive-by.
Yeah, I think we're okay. It's 84% on the flirt. I think that's what he was gunning for. When
he requested it exactly when the ambassador went by, and I'm watching from sniper view, and it looked exactly like a reverse drive-by attempt.
That's brutal. In with the double agent, we've got
banana bread.
Hard to tell either way.
Highlights. It's just a shot. YerAnd may have seen what you saw, but may have just been on top of things really well. Know that person had been to the statues.
I don't know if that was why or not, but it was just so conspicuous. We're already a highlight. We're in full view. YerAnd was not rotating, and we suddenly correct our posture. At minimum, it's an animation break, and it happens while the ambassador's walking by, and you're watching a player who loves to bug. That is, I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, this is really falling apart now, unfortunately.
This mountain might have gotten a little bit too tall to climb, but Opie has made some truly insane comebacks before. The sniper side of pub. Let's see what happens in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, it's rough, and a lot of these have been close. You know, a lot of these just like the misremembered low light, not checking the green purloin. I really feel like it's just been timing for YerAnd. YerAnd's timing has really been what's won them a lot of these close marginal games.
Yeah, I agree. But also, he's just been like completely locking down the sniper side.
Yeah, definitely that too. I mean, I always had some good wins, don't get me wrong. Obviously, that one on Redwoods was absolutely huge. And in retrospect, I think a second rush on Redwoods actually would have worked better than the hold. I liked the decision at the time. I think it made sense on paper, but, you know, it didn't work.
Banana bread.
Contact comes off, interestingly enough. That's a big low light that got taken out.
Yeah, well, it's not just that. On this venue in particular, you will get highlights for real very often because it's not that hard to memorize both fingerprints, which are on, and inspect visitors. So sometimes people will highlight for bar or real contact, and this is one way to take a little heat off. By the way, bug is off. Not even going to bother with it against Opie.
Yeah.
Just give more AIs a way to finish with fingerprint and inspect on.
Yeah, I think he knows that Opie's shooting people. He's not having a good time on the trigger figure tonight, and he's leaning into that.
I mean, YerAnd's up 7 games for crying out loud, and this is already a venue where it's very hard to win as Spy sometimes. So I think they're just going to say, I'm just going to hope an AI completes. If they don't, maybe I'll lean into a 50-50 with a Purloin or something, and that's it. And I can afford to. I can force coin flips now, because I can afford to flip coins with this lead. Opie can't.
Thought it was going to be a bug. It was not a bug. In conversation with the seduction target, though, so there's that.
There are
Also,
no bugs this game.
literally no mission progress.
No mission progress and no bugs allowed either. Against Opie on pub, yeah, I can definitely see wanting to leave the second Softail open.
51% off of the green flirt, minute and 30 to play. This is slow. But, like, the game plan kind of revolves around that as well.
Yeah, we need those AIs to finish. I think we're just kind of betting the whole game on it here. We can't even crash a bug. There's another contact.
Another fake.
But it's a good one. Look at the number of people who could ever reel now. It's like 5 or 6, I think. And that's good. This fits the plan. If you're going to play this kind of game, this is the way you do it. Whether it works or not is beside the point, but YerAnd is doing it correctly.
Yeah. And there's that heuristic of if there's 2 contacts in a game, the second one was real.
Yes, usually the case, certainly. So you're putting a lot of pressure onto Kane, onto Seek, and onto one of the twins there. Plane, I believe.
40 seconds to play. The big question right now is OpiWrites going to shoot somebody?
Well, I think we're going to delegate to Seek, which is one of the people who had that second contact, if I remember right. So this is actually a pretty good choice if you're trying to get a shot off, but you got to do it pretty much right now.
20 seconds. No!
I don't know about this.
Yeah, it's not even going to come off in time.
Right, so
seconds.
Now Opie can wait for overtime, and oh no! Softail finish. It is one of the 5 or 6 people, I believe. Let me see here. Was this the first contact or the second? First contact. Sorry, had the first contact. And eventually goes to statues, and the bet on the Softail AI finish pays off for YerAnd, not that they needed it.
Yeah. Picks it up at like 19 seconds. Waits until 10 to take the shot, so was not confident, wanted to see another 9 seconds of play, and it wasn't enough.
I mean, you definitely have to hold there, because if you're Opie, you're not worried about missing this or anything. You're not worried about missing the shot. It's not an occlusion venue or anything like that. There's not going to be any dancing with a slow character. You don't want to take this shot. That's why we wait until the end, because we really don't want to shoot this Softail finisher, even though, and this is where YerAnd gets a little lucky, that really looks like a spy who doesn't want to finish, begrudgingly deciding they have to with 20 seconds left.
Yeah.
So that's rough luck, and you can't afford any rough luck at all. Opie waits as long as possible to avoid taking the difficult shot, but has to do it in the end. Ugh.
It's all falling apart for OpiWrites as he steps into the spy side of Terrace. Sorry. Got my words confused. Let's get this underway in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I mean, it's kind of a veranda, although in terms of the actual venues, they could not be more different.
Very true. It's going to be an early time ad. I think it was supposed to be an early flirt, but it's going to be an early time ad. Yeah, test for 45 seconds, but it's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all, and I think early green time ads in particular. Twin highlight or time highlight? Twin or time? Which is it going to be?
Well, let's find out as we move forward. %51% on the first flirt, fairly close. Actually, this is like the perfect spacing for the 51% flirt.
Yeah, this is about as far away as you can get. The real question is, all I want to know right now is what's that highlight for? If it's a standard twin highlight, we're doing fine. If it's for the time ad, we're in huge trouble already, and YerAnd will be 1 win away if they pick up this one from clinching, or from forcing, I should say, at least a tiebreaker.
Yeah. Yeah, it's if Opie loses this game, it's just too much.
Right, and it's probably too much anyway. We've seen crazier things, but here's the problem: we haven't seen them often.
And we haven't seen them against YerAnd.
Not very often, no. Now we have seen YerAnd take inexplicable civ shots at the end of games sometimes.
That's true.
And I think it might be related to
Banana
fatigue,
bread.
and that's going to be more of a thing as the match goes on. But the match is only about halfway done.
Yeah, I think if Opie wanted to lean into that particular weakness, he had to drag this out a little bit longer. But the fake contact has come off.
Yeah, but that's the key, right?
Banana
You're the
bread.
sniper's mercy now. They need to make a lot of mistakes. You need to play great, and they need to give you openings.
There's the real one. You gotta love that when you take a contact, just the ambassador switches conversation, and then there's another contact.
Yep, excellent.
2 minutes and 10. We've got 2 missions in the books, 1 more to go.
We have so much
We still
time.
have that highlight, but we don't know what it's for.
We don't know what it's for. YerAnd doesn't really need to use highlights normally. It's Terrace, so you're sort of free to use them for whatever if you want, because you can memorize most of what's happening. As long as an AI doesn't do one of everything, it doesn't get too tricky. And Opie just got 2 minutes to force YerAnd to hold or try to pick their spot. But the problem is the party's actually hardly moving at all.
Yeah, and also this is not a position we want to be standing in to get this. There's the bug! It doesn't take! The bug doesn't take! It was such a terrifying moment because the ambassador started walking at the exact same moment we did. And that was a purely reflex right click. And it almost took.
And it would have won the game, as you can see, because no shots come off.
We still have 1 minute and 15 seconds. Everybody calm down.
And look where the ambassador is. Basically the least buggable position possible other than Windows. So we've got to rethink this a little bit. Oh, no, we're going to go for it anyway! We're going to go for it anyway!
He just goes for it and dies.
Oh,
There's still a minute left in play. We were in a good position for a reverse drive-by. You don't take that bug.
Well, here's what convinced him. Look at this. It's the person at Windows. It's Ponytail, the cast member, providing that cover. I think that's what convinced him to take it. And by the way, it wasn't bad given how visible we were out front. It wasn't that bad, but maybe we're already suspected and geez, just the path,
Yeah. Yeah, almost like the amount that he was able to lean into Ponytail walking the same direction was almost enough.
Yeah, I think that's what convinced us. I think if the cast member doesn't go there, we rethink it, and who knows if the game is different, and maybe Opie gets a little something going, but we just have not been able to start. Geez, you could put a 1 in front of the score, and it would still be close.
Yeah. Yeah, 12-3 is where it stands, but oh boy. This is just too big a mountain to climb as YerAnd steps into the spy side of Terrace in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And I know we say this all the time, and we're not just trying to be nice. What I'm about to say is literally true in a lot of cases and definitely true here. The score doesn't tell the story. Some of these games have been really, really marginal. We know that zoom on gallery right before the Purloin walkaway was pretty much what won the game. If it happens a second later or a second earlier, I don't think it works. And, some of that is timing. Some of that's YerAnd's skill there. Some of that's a little random, of course, right? Because a great spy like YerAnd will have a sense of when that's better to do, but better is relative, 30%, 40%, something like that. They don't know at exactly 5.5 seconds, it's going to be safe to do this. They know 4 to 7 is better than 2 to 3, right? They know how to maximize their chances. So it's a mix of things. But you really don't have to change that much, especially in those early games, which can be pretty tilting. You don't have to change very much for this to be a match.
Slow start from YerAnd, not getting any crazy early flirts like we sometimes do, but this is a venue where you can slow down a little bit on that. This is a... I don't know, it's hard to make a really compelling argument for right-clicking here.
I mean, I think you're right. I think you really just need to hold. You can need to hold serve as sniper and not even that, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Unless Opie is totally onto the fact that you don't want to do anything, unless you think that's happened, don't do anything. I just don't think you
need to hold half of your serves as sniper.
The funny thing is there are two schools of thought on this, because when Opie gets a lead, even a modest lead in some of these games, he goes the other way. He goes really hard and dares you to shoot him for early swaps. We saw that in the semifinals, for example. He got up 3 games, and both times he went for a rush swap as buns. And it didn't work either time against Screw Loose, but he had a lead, so he didn't care. YerAnd, you can see kind of the opposite. With the big lead, it's just, I just want to force them to be patient.
Gets the shot, though. Gets the shot on it, and Opie's still in this.
Yep. And YerAnd maybe started slow, but then had a pretty good opportunity there. And come on, Opie's watching Bug, But
Yeah.
why not? You're playing with house money. Just keep throwing things against the wall. Almost nothing has to get through at this point.
Yeah. I think when he went for that briefcase, he didn't realize there was no print on it.
Yeah,
So
probably.
kind of felt like he had to make a play after that.
I mean, you just don't need to pay attention to these things anymore. You just
Yeah.
need to be in the party for a while, maybe take something when it pops up, and that's it. And then just dare Opie to not only play perfectly, but to play perfectly while you make a bunch of mistakes as sniper. That's where we're at.
Into high rise we go. OpiWrites on the spy of any 3 of 5. YerAnd on the sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
An appropriate venue, too, where this might end. It is a long way down. Look at this. There's Opie. Green Purloin walk away right away. I mentioned those aggressive swaps with Buns. I think this is Buns is his YOLO character. I've just decided. He's
taking 51% flirt. He's in the center statue. He's getting the inspects.
These boots were made for the walk away.
Smallman has put it down. There it is. That's 2 missions.
We're going to go try to flirt for the win. Now, here's the question. Does YerAnd want to hold this shot because they have a huge lead, or take it because they have a huge lead? Interesting.
That's a good redirect.
Yeah, it's not bad, but do we really want to mess around with that? Does that really fit with a rush? Are we going to contact here? Are we going to do it?
I just don't think he had a good way into conversation.
I think he'd rather flirt here. I think he'd rather flirt here.
I think he would absolutely rather flirt.
We're going to pump the brakes just a little bit.
That's good etiquette, though.
Yeah, and look at those heels. Those are hard to pump the brakes on. And it's hard for Opie just in general, in any shoes whatsoever. We're even going to wait like a full 10 seconds here to flirt, it looks like. Oh, it's a white.
Oh, that's sad. Oh, I wanted it real bad, but I think... Yep, there's the shot. Wasn't expecting that, but Opie staying alive.
Yeah, and it was the eventual Purloiner, by the way. General was the one who took it, and the list was just not visible. And guess what was blocking the list? The hairdo from our spy. I don't know if we have a chance to check that replay. YerAnd was not zoomed in on the fade either, for that matter, but the hair was blocking it from that angle. And General took at a painting pad, too. That's all very spy-like, and it's from a spy that Opie likes, too, because they do great walking bugs. Oh, absolutely fantastic. Good win. Good win. Little too late, maybe, but I enjoy it.
Well, that's 5. So this is starting to look like it's still a long way to go. Don't get me wrong, but it is starting to look more doable as YerAnd steps into the spy side of high rise in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, 2 more, and I'll perk up just a little bit.
34% on the early flirt for YerAnd, just sort of started here and stayed here.
And yeah, this has been YerAnd's posture since going up maybe, let's say, 6 games. Since 6 games, they basically decided, hey, getting to Mission Win Countdown is for plebs who don't have huge leads. Once I have a huge lead, I'm just going to test your patience, and I'll take a bug when it comes by, maybe. But I will say, I think if Opie wins like 2 more in a row, YerAnd might start completing again.
Yeah, I think so.
By the way, bug is off again. First pub, now high rise, and these are the 2 venues where I think you can justify it against someone like Opie. I don't know if I would do it or not. Pub, I agreed with a lot more. Little dicier here because you do get good reverse drive-by attempts, you do get good walking bug attempts, and AIs will take bug paths sometimes. But I don't have a huge problem with it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to maximize those coin flip shots again.
Just loving the bugs all the time. Have them off is a very odd sensation, but we do have the second flirt off for 85%.
Yep, just going to go nice and slow, let as many AIs get as much soft tail progress. Oh, we requested the drink. We detected an opportunity to purloin? No.
No.
Huh.
That was just... Oh, Opie knows that was weird and bad. Opie knows.
Yeah, probably.
There's no other reason to highlight there.
Yeah, that's interesting. But, you really need to be shooting for mission progress here. You got to have some kind of count on high rise, for crying out loud. You do not want to shoot a civ here. You're going to feel real bad. Opie, I think, is worried about a between the other character bug there too, which looked vaguely plausible from the sniper side.
Yeah.
YerAnd is just chilling, counting their winnings in their head, maybe a little prematurely, but why not?
Here's the thing. I think because Opie caught a glimpse of that weird Toby
Banana bread.
business. Oh, SDA joins for the fake contact as well.
And we knock out Green Dress, who's taking a drink during the contact. Great low light. And there's a Purloin.
There's the Purloin, there's the shot. Yeah, I think because of the Toby weirdness, Opie was paying a lot more attention to that character and was a lot less likely to shoot somebody else.
Yeah, and these are the kind of wins that would have been so much more valuable confidence-wise earlier in the set, because now he's shooting him really solidly, right? Like, that was very little progress. YerAnd was in trouble early on. Opie felt like he was in total control of the game. It's the kind of thing that gives you confidence going forward. The problem is it comes while you're on the cusp of defeat.
And it's time to go to, like, the opposite venue. It's library.
It's the polar opposite venue indeed, yeah.
Opie starting things on the spy side. YerAnd on the sniper in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And there's General. Shot last time, and again, I mentioned great for walking bugs, one of his favorite characters. Eschews that walking opposite directions bug right there. You don't want that. That does not usually take. Are we going to do an early Purloin again?
We are!
But it's
Banana bread.
We're going to redirect into a contact. We're going to gulp, I think, immediately. We're trying to do the same thing. We really wanted that green. Bug attempt!
This is going so fast!
The sniper snaps back, and the bug is not seen. The bug is not seen. A collision with the Amba is seen, but that is all. There are 3 missions done, and we are totally committed to a rush now. The fact that's a white flirt, though, might force us to slow down, and there are a lot of lowlights, close to half the civilians.
OpiWrites, you absolute monster. All right, that's 3 missions done. We've got the bug, we've got the contact, we've got the Purloin, and we're like 30 seconds in.
Oh, boy. And if we win this, we will be sniping. And we are very likely to win that game. Most of the time, we're going to win those library sniper games. And that would be 12-8. This is getting just a little bit interesting. If he wins this game, I dare say I'm going to say it's a match again.
We've got like half, just under half the party low lit, but you take that every day.
You'll take that for 2 hardtails if you're not top suspect for either of them.
68% after the second flirt. He doesn't need the green tests anymore.
No, he doesn't. That ship sailed with the first one. Although, I don't know. He doesn't look like an admiral, more like a general. But we're just going to timer flirt here, and we're just going to wait. We got 3 minutes left, and are we just going to go to center statues at the end? Or is that enough to induce a shot from someone with a big lead? Purloin is done. Contact is done. Anyone who finished inspects with that center statue visit, maybe I shoot them. Is that really what's going to happen?
No, there's no way. You don't just take a shot at center statues, because someone's already at center statues.
A low lights at center statues too. I don't know. I don't know. But there's the thing. You play differently with a lead, right? You play differently with a lead. I don't think so. I think you're right. But it's something you're going to be terrified of. Oh no! Oh, that's going to hurt our chances a little bit. Just a little bit. Maybe do statues first now.
Yeah. I think we're fine. I still think Opie's completely fine.
But here's the thing. If we are a suspect for the Purloin, even, this whole thing looks different.
Or the bug, really.
Yeah, Purloin more likely than bug.
I think the bug was clean. I think the bug was completely clean. There's a little bit of a chase.
Is this close enough? Is this close enough with the white?
Close enough, yeah, because you've got 2% to spare. It is a green, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. And the ambassador is at center statues now, so if you want to go there, you're going to get busted for a print potentially too. You might want to go on the far end of the venue.
Yeah, because there's nothing happening over there.
And is that better or worse, right? I don't know.
I think it's better because you've still got the Amba to pay attention to. You've still got Toby to pay attention to. Although the Amba's
here we go,
walking ahead of us here.
If YerAnd shoots us for this, if this is what we do, we're going to wait until the suspected double agent is partway through their cycle here at least, so that we won't get blocked.
This is big plays. Here we go.
Here it comes. If YerAnd shoots here, whoa! Are we going to book dump or are we going to swap? We're going to wait even longer. We're going to wait even longer because I think the suspected double agent picked it back up. Highlight, but we've got, but YerAnd is waiting here. YerAnd is waiting and thinking.
It's going to be a swap. He thinks it's going to be a swap.
Yep. You got to show them. This is where you actually walk away a little quicker sometimes to show them it's not a swap. Here it comes. This will force at least overtime for YerAnd if he's right about this and shoots.
There's the put
I don't think he's going to, though.
Walk away. Opie has it. Opie has it.
Wow, what a big win, and it's big not just because it's a spy win, but because right after this, you get to snipe on library.
God, that game was so cool. I like that game so much. Opie, you're such a monster. All right.
It was a white purloin, though. That's the crazy thing, right?
Yeah.
The bug, sure, library, but a white purloin where he did some crazy 360 move right afterwards, but there was no scope.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, OpiWrites, now on the sniper side of library, has it back within 5. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Back within 5 is not a sentence you want to hear at all.
It's not.
But at least you're sniping first, and I think if you win this, you're still in big trouble. Don't get me wrong. However, then YerAnd, you got to imagine they're going to tighten up just a little bit. Just get a little worried. Losing doesn't feel that bad. Losing after having a massive 9-game lead, I think it was, that feels a lot worse.
Well, here's the thing. I think YerAnd's already started to feel it because there's a quick flirt. There's an immediate book cheese.
Yep. This is interesting.
51% and the transfer done. And I think that's clean.
How big would it be for YerAnd to rush right back
Banana bread.
and get that 13th win?
That would be devastating.
Uh-oh, is this going to be it?
Completely devastating.
This will tell us whether or not...
There's the green purloin. It's a rush, ladies and gentlemen. We've got it on deck. Whenever Opie hits him with it, he hits right back.
Wow. This is huge. And we're going to inspect and either swap or we're going to go flirt right afterwards. And there's so much time left on the clock. This would be such a response. YerAnd saying with that huge lead, I'm not going to do anything. But the moment Opie...
There's the purloin. He sees it immediately.
Look at this. The moment he comes back into view...
He's looking for the swap. He's all the way zoomed in on YerAnd.
But he's going to see the purloin is gone now. Can he shoot for a flirt? Here comes the lowlights, too. He's seen the purloin. It's narrowed down. But he's got to shoot for one talk or YerAnd's going to force at least a tie.
It's just a talk. All it is a talk. Can he take the shot? There it is. He's thinking about it.
He does.
OpiWrites. Oh, my God.
Wow. 12-8.
If he waits 5 seconds to make that talk.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe really suspected for that purloin. I don't know. That was a great game from YerAnd, and it's just so funny to me that YerAnd basically does 3 spy games in a row where he says, I have a huge lead, I'm not doing anything until I have to, or until something just kind of falls into my lap potentially. But then, as soon as Opie can see him, as soon as he looks back and can see Opie gaining on him, he says, time to put my foot on the gas. It's a really good spy game and a really good sniper shot. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, there was a little twitch onto that pad at the end, too. That might have been what salvaged this game. I'm not sure.
Oh, man, it's balcony, baby.
I mean, normally, this is not what Opie wanted, but when you're down this much, when you think maybe you've reversed the momentum, if that's even a thing here, maybe this is actually kind of what you want.
Yeah. We still have a ways to go. Lead into the chaos, baby.
Let's go.
OpiWrites has got momentum. Let's see if he can keep it running in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
But he could just as easily lose both of these right away.
What was that move?
I think he took control and he hit the pad and stutter stepped. I don't know if that's going to get us in trouble.
Here. There's a bug here. I don't think he's going to take it.
Can he resist this? With a white testing better, and he's pilot
There's
too.
The contact. Okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. No right clicks have occurred.
As much as you love the chaos of balcony right now, it could burn you. This could be over in a minute or two.
He didn't get the flirt. He needed an early flirt, and he didn't get it. He's got to get in next to the... Yeah, okay. We know our spot.
But can we 2-flirt now? Can we 2-flirt, and can we not get shot for it? The white contact isn't so bad if you hit 2 greens on the flirt. And she could leave after this drink take, too. This is a pivot point. She does.
Oh, no.
I don't think you could finish now, and I don't think you want to. You either get a great bug, or you just hope YerAnd shoots a sieve. I don't think you can finish here without getting totally shot, being way too aggressive about it. You got a full contact, a full conversation earlier. I know you hate taking your destiny out of your own hands like that, but I think you have to here. Look at this, with the window flirts from highlights too, potentially, green dress, coming up next to white dress, you have to take this chance, I think.
It's too scary. It's
incredibly scary, and it's not what Opie likes to do, but I just don't see how you can finish here.
And I think Opie agrees with you. He's just chilling. He's not going for any crazy flirt shenanigans.
You can't even 2 green timer flirt. You can't even do that.
All right, out he goes. Doesn't
You
want
could time ad.
I don't think you can time ad here. We're already in the beep beeps. There's no way.
There's nothing to do. He's setting up a bug, I think. He's not. Oh no. This is his last second. His last second option. Twitch bug if nobody gets shot by 5.
He's in range. He's in range for the in combo, I think.
But White Dress walked by us. That was the only cover we were going to get, except for Toby. Toby might block. Toby does block, but not in time. It's at least a tie for YerAnd.
All right. That was a brutal game to watch. He made the exact right play with Toby as well. It just, the positioning didn't quite line up like it needed it to.
We needed another talk from White Dress there. She was one of the people who could have been finishing with one more talk, and she just didn't do it. And Opie, you could tell, tried to time the bug to Toby walking in front, and that is so hard to do. So hard. And even if you do it perfectly, all over
Call Toby over and try to get him just to stand behind you.
Yeah, maybe. I can understand the attempt. The real problem was the AI just did not give you that extra talk when you needed it, and your seduction target left. By the way, though, a little predictable. When your seduction target takes a drink, after taking the drink, they make a decision to stay or not. So when you see them taking a drink, that is often an excuse to want to rush that flirt right then.
Yeah, even if he got that flirt, though, that was going to be hard.
No, I know. But you needed to get it. And then the avenues open up. And now, tournament point for YerAnd.
Opie on the sniper side of balcony in 3, 2, 1, playing it. This is fine. It doesn't look fine, but I promise you this is fine.
It's fine enough. Now for YerAnd,
so goofy. It doesn't actually look goofy because there's no one on the outside of this conversation. Now it looks goofy.
It's so crazy to think if we just get away with a bug right here, the tournament's over.
Yeah.
Any second now.
We don't need it though. He doesn't need it. He's just taking the flirt. He's got his contact. It's only 46%. He's very close to his seduction target right now, but because he's on the other side of the conversation technically.
Yeah, but I think Civ shot is just, it's feeling so likely right now. I think it's going to be so hard for him not to shoot when an AI looks like they could be completing, and it looks like a couple of them might. This is rough. YerAnd can go right back into his hibernation.
Oh, that was safety off of the DA.
Now the only way this tournament doesn't end, I think, is if Green Dress does not potentially flirt again. And she goes right back to the same spot after a redirect. If she talks, I think YerAnd's our champion.
I think so. Oh, man. 40 seconds. That's a lot of talk availability. She's talking. Section target bails from the window on YerAnd.
Oh,
30 seconds left to play. There's no time left to finish this flirt.
Yep, and look at this possible window flirt for
Have
Green.
to chase for it. It is a green.
The camera shake.
It's not enough. It's 97%.
But can he hold? Can you hold here for your tournament life on balcony? It's so hard to do.
We're under 10. Did anybody talk? Did anybody talk? I think he might have this.
Wow.
There's a hold.
What a hold. I did not think that was going to work when Green Dress went to Windows. I thought that was the tournament, but it's not. Opie, what a hold when he needed it.
All right. Well, we're still in it. OpiWrites is 4 games out. He is 4 games out from forcing overtime here. This is doable.
Yep, and I will remind you, so this is Courtyard. Normally it doesn't sound great, but there was a weird little moment during the last SCL season where Magician swept YerAnd in 4 games on Courtyard. I know we're not going to play 4 here, but this spy game, how big is this spy game right now?
I think OpiWrites' spy style is the exact style of spy that wins Courtyard games.
I think so. But YerAnd is now sniping for his tournament on Courtyard. I just don't know if Opie can do it. I think this might be it.
It's
I hope
terrifying, but if he can find this.
Yeah. We like to root for the underdog, and we like to root for the spy, and we like to root for the guy who's finished second place or third place a whole bunch of times. So, you know, our bias is very heavy here towards wanting Opie to win. I don't think it's going to happen, but I sure hope it does.
Let's find out in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Oh, man. Oh, I'm excited. We're starting in statues.
Yep, he's done this a few times now.
This is what you like to see from Opie.
He's been doing it more. He's been playing against type on the statues, but you got to feel so vulnerable there, knowing this could end at any moment. And now you know you're Hylet, and are leopards endangered? I don't know.
It's scary. It's always going to be scary. 37%. That's actually a big green test to hit, because you do not want to be flirting from a distance right now.
Exactly right. That's actually an underrated fingerprint on the drink too, by the way.
He got the print off the drink. He got the difficult print off the drink.
What a start. What a start. And yeah, the underrated part about green tests, you think about 3 greens on balcony or something like that, but one of the underrated parts is standing far away from your seduction target, but hitting them and getting effective whites anyway. That's what happened here. Really big. And oh, this progress. This is excellent. 1 good fingerprint on him in the next 2 minutes and we finish the flirt. But can YerAnd, what if he shoots us for such a strong spy game to clinch the tournament?
It's a 2 low light contact. We've got the inspects. We've got a difficult print in hand. This is looking so doable. It's a white test on the second. We're at 63%. That is green test territory.
But look at how few people have a real contact too. This is really rough still. This is still really rough. You need this fingerprint to be really good. And if we're credited for that first one at all, we've seen YerAnd take those shots. Remember the gallery game where he shot for either bug or fingerprint. If he was all over fingerprint that game, he might be here.
That is very true. All right. 1:35 left to play. Statues done.
We need a green here, though.
We're in for the flirt. We do need a green, but this is more than close enough.
Oh, and the AMBA is going to go to statues. There's going to be a briefcase and a statue with a print on it whenever we finish this flirt, and it's only a white test, though. We might have to break these things up a little.
That's okay. That's okay. We still have 1:15 to play with. We need 1 more flirt. That is more than doable on this venue.
It is, but we have to space it out, right? And I think we want someone else to take that briefcase first, maybe. You want to go back to that same statue, I think, if you can.
I think so.
Uh-oh. Here it comes.
It's quick into the briefcase.
For the tournament.
There's the print. It's a good briefcase. That felt like a good briefcase to me.
We're not dead yet, and we've got 5% left on this flirt.
It's a distance, too. It's not like a really obvious flirt. He's got to wait for this. He's got to be patient. He's got to risk that the second target will step away. There's the flirt. There it is.
He's watching on the other
6
side.
seconds.
Here it comes. Last chance.
He's zooming in on the statues.
He's got this.
He's not taking this shot. OpiWrites 3 games out from overtime.
Oh my God. And the next one is a sniper game on Courtyard. And if he wins this, it'll be 13-11.
Oh my God. I can't believe this is still happening. I can't believe we're still going. OpiWrites has the comeback of a century on his hands. Starting now from the sniper side of Courtyard in 3, 2, 1, playing it. We thought this was over long ago, but my oh my, does Opie have something else to say about it?
I mean, I said it before, the Summer Cup Finals, he fell behind 5-0 and won the majority of the games the rest of the way to bring it back close again. He was a couple games away at the end from actually pulling it back, and that is what's happened here again. We fell behind 9 games this time. 9 down to 3. And if you flipped any one of those previous games now, think about where we are. Sniping for the top.
It's just a white sweep.
Wow. I think it might have been attempted to do a green and a walkaway. I don't think we intended to do a white there, but here comes some lowlights. And look at this. This is way narrowed down. But he's going to be jumpy.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
I think he might be doing this track.
Oh, my God.
67% on the flirt. That is green. Well, that is still green test territory. We've got
green purloin.
He's purloining. Why is he purloining?
I mean, figures he's top suspect anyway. There's the fade. There's the fade. He's got him.
2 games.
Oh my God.
It's 2 games to go, track.
Oh my God. And look where we're headed.
Oh my God.
It's Taeyeon. 2 Taeyeon games to force maybe the most improbable competitive overtime I've ever seen.
All right. Let's do this. I'm ready. Opie on the spy side. YerAnd on the sniper. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. If you win this spy game track, 51% on the first flirt. That's a good start.
It is. And it's purloin bug. It's very often purloin bug for Opie on Taeyeon.
It's not hard to find good bugs on this venue. It's more difficult with the 2 front Sojis on the same side, but it's still very doable.
Oh my goodness. And it's a white purloin. Oh no, this could be the tournament. It's a white. Is this it? Is this it? Double zoom.
Look at the list. He's
not shooting yet.
But he zoomed way out again right after. There's one low light there.
Oh no, we needed that green. That might have been a green for the tournament. Who knows? Who knows?
85% on the flirt. This is still going. 2.5 minutes to play. We've got the purloin done. We've got 85% on the flirt. There are very few lowlights in this party right now, but it might just be over already, and he just hasn't pulled the trigger.
I just don't see. I don't know if you can finish. I think he saw the. I don't know. Did he see the fade? Does he? I mean, knows it's gone for sure. I think this is it. I think YerAnd's got him. I think we needed the green there to have a chance. I think he's strongly suspecting this white, but he's just not going to shoot. Not with it this close. Not unless he has to. Not until he could be conceivably finishing.
I love that Opie is just not.
He's returning the list.
What?
I saw a return message. Guest list return expire. Look at this. Return pending.
You can green test a return?
Banana bread.
Yes, and we just did. I think we're thinking this is so bad. I need to do something. I need to do something.
Oh my God, this is so cool. He's faked the contact, but he's in with an SDA. But he's the only one in with that SDA.
This is, I mean, look, I think I get it. With a white test visible like that, it's not even hidden behind a crowd. You've got to do something. You've got to do something if you think you're a huge suspect, and I really think we are. You got to tilt him just a little bit.
The list is back. There it is.
So here's the question. Does it just confuse you?
What is happening right now?
Banana bread.
It's not the right shot. It's the wrong shot. Opie is 1 game away from overtime. Are you kidding me?
A sniper game on Taeyeon to force overtime after being down 9 freaking games. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know already this is one of the most incredible comebacks we have ever seen. And you and I have been casting this game for 7 years now. And this is top 5 material, whatever happens now.
The list.
I don't know if we had to or not. I don't know if that's what won it. But my God, that is what you do when your back is against the wall in every possible sense.
YerAnd has to be tilted out of his mind, right?
You have to think so. And if I'm Opie, I'm saying, show me the missions. YerAnd has been afraid to complete in most of these games, has not played Taeyeon much, and when I played them competitively, there was definitely a leaning against wanting to finish. There's a discomfort here for sure. I would watch out for time ads for sure, and slow plays, and I would make sure this person is finishing.
Show me the missions. All right, track. Let's get this done. YerAnd spying on Taeyeon for the win. Opie on the sniper side for what may well be the greatest comeback I have seen in my entire life. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. It's
and look
Smallman.
Who it is. It's Smallman.
Smallman. Here we go.
Does that sound like someone who maybe doesn't want to finish? I don't know. Sometimes you pick Smallman to do nothing and you make them paranoid about all the stuff they didn't see while they were watching Smallman. Sometimes that's the idea. But this is the thing you got to look out for.
Here's the thing. Opie knows he's there. The ambush showed up too late. Opie knows he's there. 32% on the flirt. Might even be crediting a bug right now.
We might even be. You're right. You're right. But if you've been watching YerAnd, if you watched him play play Taeyeon. If you've been watching him this set, I think you really need him to try to finish here. You need to be sure he's
It's
finishing.
A print.
Oh, we returned the briefcase without moving from across the conversation, I think?
What is that? Yeah, he did.
He just threw the briefcase at the ambassador. Here, this is yours.
You're not allowed to do that.
I'm just gonna, I'm gonna
All right.
put my embarrassment aside and say I'm genuinely not sure if you're allowed to do that in that scenario. I don't think
You're
so.
not allowed to do that. It's 83%. It's 83% on the flirt.
What are these spies doing on Taeyeon? It's a purloin. It's a green purloin in a small man.
Okay, this is where it goes. This. He's trying to get a look at it. He
It's
might
a take. Cannot see the fade. Cannot see the fade. Oh, low lip and high lip. We've got to narrow down.
This
It's
is
a
the
camera
right
shake.
play.
Yep,
This is
I
the
agree.
right play.
Show the
It's down to
progress.
2.
It's a fingerprint and a flirt. Oh, I think he wanted a walking bug there, but the Amba changed directions. Is there a fingerprint here?
There is.
There is. It's a difficult and it fails. That could be the tournament.
Oh my god. If he
Oh
had
my
hit
God.
that green test.
Yep. But we're a huge suspect for this purloin. We have to be a suspect for this purloin. And we're at statues. Oh, you don't want to shoot here, but do you have to do it? Do you freaking have to do it?
I'm losing my mind track. It's 2. He hasn't been to statues yet. This is just 2 inspects.
That
It's
is
just
making
one
Opie.
inspect.
Oh, Opie feels so much better now, I guarantee it, knowing that he doesn't have to make that choice.
Yeah. Yeah. That was his first time. He's going back to the statue. It's the same statue, but this is enough to get the flirt. This is enough. It's exactly enough. He hits the green test. He didn't need to hit the green test.
Are
but
we
he
just
did
going to swap
anyways.
here right here? Oh, it's a short statue. It's out front. There's so much. Nope. You could have done it.
That
Oh,
might make
no.
Opie, that might make
Is
Opie
Leopard going to get shot here? Leopard is doing so much for the purloiner. This is really good for YerAnd. Another print.
It's a briefcase.
Another print. I can't believe it. It happened. It happened.
I can't believe it happened.
What happens now?
Hang on. What? What? I actually, I'm not sure I know what the overtime is.
Balcony. It's balcony. We're right back to balcony. This was 12-3. Opie wins 10 out of 11 games, including what? 5 tournament points? I think it was 13-8. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. It was the hold on balcony that really started it. That's when stuff got really crazy. That fingerprint, that green fingerprint on the bookcase was, I said it at the time and it turned out to be right, was for the entire Winter Cup.
And now look where we are.
I can't believe it. Already this match is historic. No matter what happens, it's balcony overtime. Do we want to make absolutely sure we have the rules right here before we continue? We know it's balcony, but what do you need? Do you need a 2-game lead? Do you need a sweep?
I think it's win by 2. I think it's just win by 2. I think it's balcony win by 2. Can you imagine if this is how Opie finds his first big tournament win?
Well, look, he's not going to be happy exactly with another second place finish, but come on, man, win or lose, this has been one of the most incredible matches. And by the way, here's one of the reasons it's incredible. This has not been, YerAnd collapses down the stretch. That has not been what's happened.
No,
there have
YerAnd has been playing well.
There have been some really good spy games in here, right?
His mind well.
He's just held so well. I would say YerAnd was really easy on a couple of those games early on when he had the huge lead. I'm not going to say he gave them away because Opie still had to hold, but they didn't test him too hard. But since then, there have been some really good spy games that YerAnd has really put Opie to the test, and Opie has somehow passed every time. And now, oh my God, we've been casting so long. My face is tingling. I'm not exaggerating. I'm light in the head from the screaming. I thought I was going to be able to eat lunch by now. Apparently, I should have had it beforehand because I am going to faint if this continues, and it might because we're on balcony.
Here we go. All right. Here's the situation. It's balcony. It's win by 2. Opie starting things out on the spy. Oh my god, I'm so stressed out. But here we go. YerAnd on the sniper, Opie on the spy. It's balcony to infinity. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And Purloin is on instead of Bug. Watch out. Could we lean? If we get a reject chain, we get into the meta logic. Who is more likely to be the spy? The first rejector, the second, the third? You can make a case either way. Contact, it's got to be right to a Purloin.
We're being offered.
You need to take it. You're flirting. Oh, that's close. And look at this. YerAnd knows Purloin is on because he double zoomed on that. He has noticed the mission change. And by the way, a lot of spies will politely inform the sniper because they don't want to win sheep too. So it might have been told as well.
All right. But we're in good flirt position. It's only a white on the first one. But
oh my god. ST leaving. This could be good. Do we go to Windows? This is a huge choice.
The biggest spot still open in the conversation. You just got taken by the Amba. I think this is good.
Yep, they're probably going to come back to you. If they... Yep.
It's briefcase, though. No, it's not briefcase.
No, not too close.
I thought he was going there.
Yep, Amba stayed nearby. Oh, the spot is taken. That could do it.
It's a green test. It's still not enough. You need to go green.
Smallman taking that spot could swing this game in this tournament. That could be all it takes.
Opie has to leave. Opie has to get closer to his seduction target. Opie has to hit a green flirt. It has to be a relatively close green flirt.
Yep,
35 seconds.
Oh, I think we're obligated to take this case. No, Double Agent might do it instead. Our seduction target takes it instead.
It's okay. It's okay. We've got time. We've got time. Just get into the biggest open spot in this conversation you can. He's delaying.
You need to see where he goes. You need to see where he goes first. And you're gonna need a green.
Go now. 10 seconds. Oh,
it's gonna be overtime. Duke is talking though under 10. That might work. I think he started before, but will we know that? Is Smallman talking? Is Smallman talking?
There it is. He finds a way through in the most unlikely of scenarios in the first balcony game and is now playing for the tournament.
We have another tournament point, but for the very first time, it is for Opie, who can snipe on balcony to bring this back and win, I think, the greatest competitive comeback in SpyParty history, and I'm not sure it's close.
The fact that he hit that green test.
He didn't need it, though, but yes, it probably feels even better to know you didn't need it.
Did he not need it?
I mean, I think...
He was at 62, right?
No, I know, but the shot comes off on Smallman.
That's true. But does it come off on Smallman if it's not overtime?
Yes, right. So like there's a lot of interacting variables there, right? Like we'll never really know. But I think the shot came off before overtime though, didn't it?
I don't think it did.
No, it did, just barely. Like right at the edge. I think maybe as soon as there was a hang. Oh God, I don't know. Let's just keep going.
Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. All right, here we go. It's YerAnd on the spy on balcony to push it to another overtime. If Opie wins this game, this is the craziest comeback the world has ever seen. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Well, now I don't know who to root for because YerAnd's a great guy and a great player, and you'd feel bad for him to lose this too. I don't know. I feel bad for both of them.
I don't know. I don't know.
You know what? I said at the beginning of this match that this was definitely the most important and most exciting competitive event that was going to take place today. I thought I was kidding.
Right.
I thought I was kidding, but good luck Super Bowl living up to this.
Okay, we're back on the bug, by the way. It's not Purloin this time.
This is a long reject on this drink. Are we forgetting about Toby? That was so long. It's 36% on the first flirt, which is enough, but it had to be a green to get there. That was a 9-second reject on the drink. That was a hard tell. That was too much. That was way too much. And it's not looking good for the flirt right now.
And in the red.
It's a white contact. There's 2 low lights. This is so narrowed down. If we trust our low lights, and they are balcony low lights, it has to be said, they're still going to be watched. But if we trust our low lights, and one of the other suspects does not talk enough.
It's 50 seconds. I don't know if he's going to be able to get this flirt done. I think it's gonna have to bug.
It's Civ shot or eventual final champion for OpiWrites. This is it. This is it, man.
I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is happening. There's the next flirt. It's another green test. It's 87%, but he doesn't have time to wait for the timer flirt. He's
gonna wait for one more.
And, and
that's huge because you could tell Opie is not shot yet. One of these Civs is going to talk and get shot, or OpiWrites is going to win the Winter Cup in the most improbable fashion.
20 seconds. It's 15 seconds. They both left conversation. It's briefcase!
That's terrible for us. All you need to do is hope that the general could be flirting at windows with us. This is the moment.
You can't get it. It has to be a crash bug. Here it is. OpiWrites from what
12 to 3.
12
9
to 3
games down in the Winter Cup. Hell freezes over. Opie takes it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just seen history.
Unbelievable. 12 to 9, 13 to 8, balcony games held. Tayen, a white purloin, a guest list return. I have never seen anything like this.
There were so many moments that we were like, that could have been the tournament. There were so many opportunities just for the tiniest little thing. A difficult fingerprint, for example, that could have swung the entire tournament.
There's an old an aphorism, always a bridesmaid, never a bride, they say it. Maybe a little old-fashioned, but we all know what it means. If we're sticking with that analogy, I think Opie just grabbed the best man and forced him to get married while the Justice of the Peace was still standing there. He said, absolutely not. Not this time. I'm leaving this tournament with the win that has eluded me for so long. The person who runs the Winter Cup has finished in the semifinals 2 years in a row, has finished in the Summer Cup finals 2 years in a row, and finally gets hitched. Opie wins the Winter Cup.
You can't ask for a better story than that.
You can't. I do want to say, my heart goes out to YerAnd, but on the other hand, he played a really great match. And if this goes differently, if those games are just spaced out differently, right? The same games, but in a different order, all we're talking about is how these guys played the game of their lives, and Opie came out barely on top, right? It's less of a narrative thing. Because YerAnd played so many good games. I think he was smart to make Opie hold a shot a few times there. I think he was smart to turn on the gas when he did. I think his strategy was really, really good almost all game. And he didn't really lose this so much as Opie really did win it in the end. And that's what you want to see. No shame at all from YerAnd, who played a great tournament and a great final, but just ran up against someone who got himself pointed at and said, okay, it's your turn.
There is no one in this entire community who plays better when down than OpiWrites.
I agree. I'd say he plays the worst when he's winning. And he gets way too aggressive and way too mission happy, you know? He plays best when his back is against the wall. Usually the holes he's in are just too deep to dig out of, and he leaves us wondering, oh boy, what if he turned it on just a little sooner? And that actually is not what happened here. He waited even longer to turn it on this time, right? Waited so long. But in the end, he absolutely did it. And my hat is off to both these competitors, and obviously to Opie in particular. This was his Super Bowl, and he's a much-deserved champion.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge congratulations.
I'm gonna faint though. I'm gonna faint. We've been going for 2 hours. I can't take it. I think, okay, let's make an exception. Opie, if you're hearing this, let's just do a few minutes. Normally we don't do post-game interviews for all but the SCL League Championship or particularly incredible finals or something, but God, if we're not gonna do one for this, when will we?
Yeah.
Oh, let's give him a minute. I'll catch my breath. He'll catch his. I don't know. I'm just upset we didn't have a heart rate monitor on for any of those.
Oh my God.
Oh. Yeah, when you hear this, Opie, hop in real quick. Give us just a few minutes. We're not going to take up much time. I'm not going to stay conscious long enough to do much with it anyway. What's the first question you want to ask? What do you think? Guest list? Because I want to know not just what Opie was thinking, but I want to know if YerAnd told him, Opie, okay, you just caught me in the middle of describing my first question. First thing I want to know First of all, congratulations. How you feel?
Oh my god.
So my mouth is probably the dry, like it's the Sahara right now. All right. I was really just mad at myself early on because I felt like so bad on my sniper. Like YerAnd played insane spy, but
He
my
did.
sniper felt so bad early on that set. And then like as at some point I thought I was lost, and I was like, I'm just gonna have to make this interesting. Like I don't want this set to go out where it's like 14-5, right? I want this, say what you will, maybe always a bridesmaid, like you said, but I'm gonna make it interesting.
My god, did you ever?
I'm at least going to propose to the best man this time, and if it looks a little impulsive, we'll just see what happens. But it worked. He said yes, everybody. Opie, we don't have time for too much because we are exhausted, thanks to you. I thought this match was going to be over an hour ago. But one of the things I have to ask, pretty much the first question that occurred to me when I asked myself, what do I want to ask? The guest list return on Tayan, I want to know, A, what was going through your mind, and B, what YerAnd told you afterwards about his thought process, if anything.
Well, we haven't talked about much of the actual games. It was very silent chat. It was just total accident. I think I was like trying to flirt or something.
Don't say that. Lie to me. Lie to me, man. Tell me it was the greatest maneuver in Winter Cup history or something.
Yeah, I will. It's surely. Yeah, like YerAnd saying in chat right now, there was a list return. That was my hope that he just didn't notice it.
I just want to say two things about SpyParty. One, that a redirect on balcony almost swung the tournament, and two, that the craziest thing that happened, the sniper didn't even notice, and it didn't even factor into the outcome.
I thought that's what won you the game, to be honest. I really did.
I mean, we're trying to make sense of it, right? I mean, the Purloin narrows it way down. That's the other guess, but we thought maybe the guest list return. We thought you were just like, you know what, White Purloin, I'm in big trouble. I got to do something.
That would be a fair thing, but honestly, I'm never a fan of returning the list unless I think that my opponent just hasn't seen it and I can get away with doing that.
Right.
And it's been so long at that point. No, there's no way he hasn't seen it.
We thought it was total YOLO. And a lot of what you did afterwards was, but some of those spy games, man, the fingerprints on Courtyard, that's the one we were looking back on at the time. We said, if he wins the spy game on Courtyard and then gets to snipe to be within 2, that was the game we were really looking at. Did you get any sense of how close you were to losing that game with the fingerprints?
I thought that if I hit the green fingerprint, my odds of winning that Courtyard game were fairly high. That was my read. I was like, okay, this print, like I was thinking at the time, this print might just be for, my tournament life.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you realize this. YerAnd had one of those too. His Tayan game, he had a difficult print at shelves and finished the snooze afterwards without getting shot. I said at the time, I think if he hits this, it's the tournament, and it turns out that was true. You were an action test away. YerAnd had a green for the tournament win, effectively, it turns out. And I guess you didn't see it on the replay.
I didn't even know that. I didn't check the replay. I just was too in shock that I actually got to overtime.
Yep. Well, when people ask me how close this was, then I'm going to say, how many pixels wide is that little green sliver? That's how close it was.
Oh, honestly, thank you guys for casting this, because I can't imagine.
Thank you for playing.
I played it, and I can't imagine casting it.
You'll definitely be getting a bill from my doctor. I think I need to see a cardiologist after this. Oh my God, that's incredible. Well, congratulations. Taboshi, anything you want to ask too, or did I steal all the good questions?
No, I'm good.
We just want to relax. Let's relax with the biggest sporting event of the year.
Yes,
other than this one, I mean. Congratulations, bud.
Congratulations again, OpiWrites. That was quite possibly the greatest SpyParty set I've ever seen.
Never say don't make it interesting.
Yeah. Go take a rest, bud. Oh, my goodness. Well, we have to thank Porlino as well. Well, everybody, first of all, yeah, and the competitors. And again, I want to point out, YerAnd played great. YerAnd played really, really great. And if these games happen in a different order, all we're talking about is that these two heavyweights went toe-to-toe. And that is what happened, But Porlino, you didn't know what you were signing up for today, did you? Oh, man. I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I just want to tell everyone, I'm pretty sure this is Porlino's first hosting gig on the main channel, and one of their first ever, as a matter of fact. And boy, did they pick a doozy. I'm sorry to say, you've probably topped out already. It's all downhill from here.
You know what?
Thanks to OpiWrites, not only for playing the set, but also making this tournament.
Yeah, true. Yeah, what were you saying there?
If it's all downhill from here, I'm glad to have been part of it.
Yeah. You get into the main channel, you host for us, we really appreciate it, and you immediately are part of SpyParty history. What else more is there to say? Tobo, please take this incredible tournament home.
All right. Well, thanks a ton for everybody who came out to watch. It's truly been an absolute pleasure. This game, if you are now suddenly interested in it, is called SpyParty. You can get it on Steam or at spyparty.com. If you get it from the website, you also get a Steam key. It's $25. It's a great game. If you're interested in competitive SpyParty, whether or not you've been in it before, join the Discord. It's a great time, full of great people. I think we're done. It's been a pleasure. To everybody who came out to watch, whether you've been here the whole time or just showed up at the end, have a great night.